What's up guys, it's your favorite Q coach. I got another video for you guys today. As you can see, we got TrackMan behind me. So this video is going to be very similar to the video we did on alignment. It's kind of just touching up on that subject, but bring it into an actual TrackMan facility, as well as we got a whiteboard over here. And we're going to kind of walk you through a similar scenario that we talked about in that alignment video, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth. So without further ado, let's go do this thing. So welcome back to the channel, guys. If you guys are new to Cubic Golf Japan, we do a bunch of videos like this every single week. So what you got to go do is hit that little red subscribe button, smash the like button, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this video on alignment and TrackMan and all this good stuff. And as always, hit that little bell notification. You guys are getting notified every single time we drop a video. Okay, so quick little shout out to Kanai Indoor Driving Range for allowing us to film here. If you guys don't know where Kanai Indoor Driving Range is, well, shame on you. You're in Japan, you should know it. It's in Kanai, and as well, it's indoors, so it's perfect for the winter time. So if you guys are looking for a facility where you guys are actually trying to work on your games, you guys want to have access to a TrackMan, you guys want to have access to a putting green, high-speed camera back here somewhere right there, and then obviously mats and as many golf balls as you can hit, well, Kanai Indoor Driving Range is the facility for you. So I'm going to leave a link down into their website down below. They have a reservation system. You can actually reserve their times. Just don't reserve it when I'm teaching. And other than that, check out the facility. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into the video. All right, so the main point of this video, like I said in the intro, is we're actually going to be taking a look at alignment, but more so using kind of TrackMan, and then we actually have an encore scenario drawn up here on the whiteboard. First part of this video, we're actually going to go into kind of the numbers over here on TrackMan. We're going to give you some of the definitions of this, and then we're going to take this data set, we're going to translate it over here to the whiteboard in the second part of the video, and then we're actually going to walk through an encore scenario with the data set we have over here, and I hope that it's going to kind of connect for you guys, and you guys are going to be able to align better on the golf course. So let's go hop in and take a look at the data. All right, so let's start off with the data, and I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. So first off, we got 6 shots right here. Again, remember, we like you guys to hit about 30 to 50 shots when you're doing this. It's a little bit more accurate. However, we're short on time, so that's as many shots as we're going to hit. Next, I want to go over the reference line that we kind of talked about in the other alignment video. If you guys haven't watched that, I'll leave a link up here or down below somewhere on the screen. You'll see it. The reference line, again, is going to be where the TrackMan is directed, and that is going to be where you want to put your sweet spot relative towards, hit some shots, and then kind of see where the golf ball ends up. Now, TrackMan, what they actually do is they have a side and then a side total. So side simply just means the carry, and then where it kind of lands relative to the target line off the carry, and then side total actually factors in the roll as well. So with the roll, how far away from the reference line did it end up? This particular shot, it carried 4.3 yards left of this reference line. Total is 4.9 yards left of the reference line. So obviously it rolled 0.6 yards. And then you can also see over here, which is really cool, the curvature amount, which this was 7.4 yards of curvature. So that's kind of the basics of kind of the reference line, where the golf ball was kind of ending up. This is going to help us kind of establish our lateral grid dispersion, which we'll talk here about in a second. However, the one little important part that I want to talk about is really the launch direction, which is going to be basically the starting line, which is one of the 3 points that we talked about in that alignment video. If you guys don't remember we have the reference line, right, where the sweet spot's pointed. We have the starting line, which is launch direction for TrackMan. I think for FlightScope, it's horizontal direction or horizontal launch. And then from here, the last one is going to be the grid, which we'll get to later on in this video. But launch direction for this one was 1.1 degrees to the right. So starting line relative to this reference line was a little right of that. And then from here, obviously, you can see it curved left of that. And the reason for that was going to be the club path and face angle. Club path was 4.0 to the right, face angle was 0.3 to the right. Reduced in a 3.7 negative face to path, which then imparted about a 5.2 degree to the left spin axis, which means the golf ball kind of tilted this way. And then we get our shot, right? I know that's a lot of stuff, but I'd highly recommend watching through the part a few times just so you can kind of get the basics, but that is really the data point for this particular shot. And then if we kind of roll through here, we can see other shots that we hit, and then you would kind of start getting, okay, so where am I typically starting to launch the golf ball? Where am I typically curving the golf ball? Where are the sides and the side totals currently kind of going relative to the reference line? And then you can kind of get a good idea of what I'm doing. Now, from here, let's actually just go over to a simple little dispersion graph right here. So we can actually kind of use this data that we have here in the actual encore scenario. So as you can see, this is a really common iron kind of grid dispersion. It starts kind of, your longest shots are obviously long and a little left, and then your shortest shots typically are going to be short and a little right. Not everyone is going to look this way, but however, this is a really common one where you see for a lot of players. So this is, I think, a decent resemblance of kind of what I currently do. So let's go take this data and then go into the whiteboard over here. All right, so let's break this whiteboard shot down as well. So we got to the center of the green, we got 155 yards. To the pin, we got 160 yards to the pin, roughly, give or take. And then we have obviously bunker to the right of the green, then we have water right of this bunker or this little fairway section or rough section. And we have trees off over here to the left, right? So this is a very common on-course scenario. The question is, okay, knowing my current data set, where should I actually align the reference line? And then based off my typical initial directions, where's the golf ball probably gonna end up starting relative to that reference line? And then knowing my grid dispersion, where is it gonna start kind of ending up, right? This is kind of the whole equation that I want you guys to think about. So let's go back over here to the data. So if we take a look at this data, we got this little line right here is 5 yards right, 15, and then it's the same on this side, however, they just didn't label it. So we can see that the bulk of my, actually all of my left shots are pretty much right around 5 yards left of this reference line. And then pretty much 3 out of my 4 right shots are anywhere from about 1 yard right to about 6 yards, 7 yards right at the very most. And then obviously the outlier is this one over here, which is about 13 yards right. That would kind of be my outlier, my worst shot to the right. Now, based off kind of all these, let's kind of go over the initial direction. So obviously this one right here, the initial launch direction was 1.8 degrees to the right. I want to check out some of these left misses too for you guys. So you guys can kind of see, I think this one was a left miss. So let's take a look here. No, that was not a left miss. Let me find one more, one sec. Okay, this is a left miss here. So the initial launch direction right here was 0.8 degrees to the right. So it actually did start right of this reference line and then draw off. Let me go find my other left one, which I think is this one right here. It's number 7. Yes, and then this also launched 1.1 degrees to the right, and then it went over there. So pretty much all these shots actually initially launched right of the reference line, but then some drew, and then some actually kind of stayed out here, or one actually even curved slightly off to the right, which was this outlier here. So understanding that, going back over here, let's just start out with the example of, hey, let's just align the reference line of the TrackMan to the center of this green, and let's kind of see what I'm going to be currently doing with my typical shot pattern. So back to here. If we take a look here, let's go over the right misses first. So I got obviously one that's about roughly 1 to 2 yards right. Worst one's about 14 yards right, so that's kind of a range here. So will any of the shots get me into the water if I aim at the center of the green? And obviously the answer would be no, right? So it's 15 yards to the right edge of the green, as well as 15 yards to kind of the left edge of this bunker right here. So I might get one shot that gets close to missing the green right if I actually aim at the center line of the green and aim my reference line there. Now, I do have 2 shots that will go left, so let's go take a look at those real quick. So out of these 2 shots, again, remember they're roughly right around 6-7 yards left, so I'll get any of those shots get me in trouble if I aim at the center line here. And obviously you can see, no, right? They're pretty much all gonna hit the green. So pretty much, I would say all of my shots except for one, if I aim at the center line, might get me into a little bit of trouble, that one shot, but pretty much all of them are gonna be on the green and I'm gonna be very happy, right? So that would be actually a decent place for me to align, right? That'd be a pretty strong potential that I'm not gonna get into any trouble. Now, if I wanna completely eliminate the trouble, I could probably aim like 3 yards more left of this center line of the green, and I'm most likely not gonna hit too many or any shots that are gonna miss the green right. And as well, I won't miss any shots left of the green, because remember my worst miss is about 6-7 yards left. So if I wanted to take out if I wanted to really have the most safest shot possible, aligning about 2 yards left of the center line with the reference line is probably gonna be that shot. Now, is that gonna get me the closest to the pin, right? That's the next question. So can I get a little bit more aggressive, take on a little bit more risk to kind of get at that pin? So again, that pin, if we go back here, sorry, the pin is 160 yards, right? So carry-wise. If I go back over here, really I only have probably about 2 shots that are close to that 160 carry, right? So that's this one right here, the longest one, and then the second longest one. Again, both of those were the ones that actually missed left. So if I wanted to get close to kind of carrying it to the pin, I would obviously have to move the reference line a little bit more, almost towards the right edge of the green or close to that, to get those longer left shots to actually get at the pin. However, then I actually might start bringing in some water, as well as that leads me to about probably 4 of my shots that are gonna miss the green, right? So that's a pretty high percentage of shots that'll miss the green if I can get myself to line here. However, I will have potentially 2 shots that get really close to the pin. So is it worth it in that situation? It potentially could be, right? That's a little risky of a play. What if I actually aligned maybe, let's say, half of that, right? So let's say I took about 7.5 yards to the right of the center line, aligned there. Now, probably I'm gonna get about 2 of those shots, right? Pretty pin high, and maybe about close to about 7 yards left of the pin, which will give me a pretty good birdie opportunity. And then from here, I'm probably gonna get maybe, 1 shot's definitely gonna probably go in the bunker here. And then the other shots might be close to kind of the right edge of the green, maybe potentially also going in the bunker. There's still probably a little bit too much of a percentage that I might get into some trouble. So again, if I wanted to be the most aggressive while still kind of eliminating some of this bunker miss, most likely just right of the center line, probably about 3 yards right of the center line, would be like an aggressive play, but still being relatively safe in terms of not hitting in the bunker or getting in any type of trouble, right? So that's kind of the play there. So really the most aggressive play is I can align the reference line to the right edge of the screen, and I definitely have a percentage of shots that are gonna get really close. The more conservative aggressive play would probably be about maybe 3 yards right of this center line of the green. That would probably still get me maybe a couple shots in trouble, or 1 shot at least, but I still probably have most of my shots okay. And then obviously the most conservative play is gonna be aligning roughly right around like 5 yards left of the center line, or like 5 to 7 yards left of the center line. That'd be the most conservative play, right? So when I'm thinking about an actual par 3, when I'm thinking about a shot like this, those are the factors I'm trying to kind of think about, right? So again, hopefully this made some sense to you guys. This is again a follow-up video for the alignment video we've already done. Make sure to kind of track your data set right here, kind of see what you're doing, see where the golf ball's initially launching, see where your shots are falling relative to the reference line. Take that data, put it into a situation, and then start kind of evaluating your odds on, if I align here with the reference line, what percentage of shots are gonna get me in trouble, what percentage of shots are gonna be good, and then play the odds on the course. You can be aggressive in certain situations, not aggressive in other situations. Again, that starts leading into another video, which is more advanced, which is for the better players. But this is enough basic information where I think if you watch this video that we just had and the alignment video that we've done earlier, I think hopefully you have enough information now to take a data set and then take it out on the course and get the basic understanding of what you guys should be doing. So that pretty much wraps up the video for me, guys. Now, if you guys are thinking, you're like, hey, this is great information, Kiwi Coach, but I don't have access to a TrackMan, or I don't have access to a flight scope. Well, I have the perfect service for you. We actually have a flight scope rental program going on currently at my academy. So if you guys are interested in renting out my flight scope and being able to do what we just talked about, I want you guys to go check out the link down in the description below. You can rent out my flight scope for a full month. You could rent it out for a full week, 3 days, 1 day. Again, you can actually do exactly what we just did in this video. And hopefully, if you guys watch the whole video, you know how powerful it can be for your guys' golf game. So check out that link down below. Also, if you guys want, and you guys are close to Kanai, you can also come to a facility like this and do the same exact thing. So those 2 links will be down below. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.